You don't want to miss this one. Many people were shocked when Monique stopped by Club Shay Shay and revealed that Kevin Hart had cut her off. Her story left us questioning whether she was telling the truth or why he would act this way. Fast forward to Kevin's recent appearance on The Breakfast Club, and he finally spoke on the situation. After a lot of rambling and patting himself on the back, he revealed that the true reason behind his actions, and you won't believe what he said. But before I go on with the video, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more.
I didn't ask Kevin Hart to do anything. He said, I'll executive produce, I'll partner with you. I said, good Kevin, because we're in a deal with Endemol. And we're trying to get our talk show back. Mo, whatever it is, I got you. Now, Kevin Hart is one of the biggest entertainers right now in the world,
Correct.
right? And was then. We got off the phone with Kevin Hart. We called Endemol immediately and said, Kevin Hart said, whatever we want to do, he got us. He's going to partner, executive produce. They was like, oh, this is incredible, because when you put Kevin Hart's name on it, you already know what it is.
Correct.
2 weeks go by. We get a call from Endemol. Endemol says, we just got a call from Kevin Hart's manager, Dave Becky. And Dave Becky said, Kevin doesn't want anything to do with Monique. So whatever she told y'all, he doesn't want to do anything with her, nothing. You know, he doesn't want any kind of relationship with Monique.
There's a lot to unpack here. So Monique went on to Kevin Hart's podcast back in 2021 and explained how she's being blacklisted from Hollywood by the big power players such as Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. The conversation Mo is talking about here happened after the podcast. Now, Endemol is the company that owns the rights to Monique's talk show and ran between 2009 and 2011, and according to her, she was in talks with Endemol to get the show back up and running. So when Kevin seemed ready to step in, it must have felt like a chance for her to finally break through those walls that have held her back. However, despite the initial promise, the situation didn't even pan out as she hoped. For Mo, it was another blow, feeling let down by someone she thought would stand by her. But that's not all, because she even went into the details of how the situation unfolded. Watch what she said next.
So what changed between the 2 weeks and plus he gave you a check, you gave the money back, then said he would partner with you, executive produce, whatever you need, Mo, hey, we got you. So what transpired, or what do you think transpired between then, that two week period?
Well, soon as we got off the phone and they told us what Kevin's manager, David Becky, said, I called Kevin Hart immediately. I said, hey, baby, we just got off the phone with Endemol, and they said Dave Becky called them up and said, you don't want anything to do with me. He said, Mo, that's a miscommunication, and we're going to talk Tuesday. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, it's a miscommunication. That was 2 years ago. If you talk to him, I talk to him. I've never talked back to Kevin Hart again. So that's what we're faced with.
As much as you think that this story is insane, it's a common occurrence in Hollywood. You see, the gatekeepers in Hollywood are the decision makers, the tastemakers, and the hidden forces who control what projects get greenlit. They also decide who gets cast and which narratives make it to the big screen. Their influence stretches across studios, casting agencies, production companies, and even media outlets. Essentially, these people play a huge role in shaping the entertainment landscape. You might be wondering, what does Kevin Hart have to do with this? As much as he likes to play the character of comedic relief in his movies, the guy has reached the new level of being a gatekeeper because of the amount of connections and societal capital that he has. He also already owns a production company based in California and said the following about it, quote, we're a relationship-conscious business that is here simply because of the value that we understand we can bring to our partners. It's the sad reality of an industry that can be much more than what it is now. A month ago, Kevin went on The Breakfast Club and the host had to ask him about this situation. Needless to say, he was all over the place with his response.
Monique and Lee Daniels just did the deliverance.
Yes.
Are we ever going to see a reconciliation with you and her? Because she...
I don't have a problem.
I know that there's no problem.
To reconcile.
No, but she has said that, like, I know when she was on Club Shay Shay and they talked about it, and she was talking about the phone call that happened from your team or whatever, right? Is there ever going to be a conversation that we hear you talk about where y'all two have another conversation about that and move forward?
I'll challenge your question with a better question.
Go ahead. You've been doing this for a long time.
Do you ever hear me talk about anyone? Do you ever hear anything bad come from me? No. So information can't be one-sided. A perception can never be one-sided. It's always a duality. It's your side versus another. And if there's not a common ground, that means one hasn't been attempted to, like, be met. So there's no problem between me and Monique. There never will be.
That was some next level deflection, I gotta say. His response was pretty much, let's skip this, please. It was one of those moments where you could practically hear the crickets in the background. Instead of offering a clear answer, he gave one of those classic Hollywood non-answers that sound like he's saying a lot without actually saying anything at all. And honestly, that is a skill, isn't it? Not everyone can talk at length about a topic without giving away a single fact. By the way, I just noticed you haven't liked the video or subscribed to the channel yet, so what are you waiting for? Anyway, the funny thing is Monique had already dropped some hints about her feelings on this during her Club Shay Shay interview, so this wasn't a surprise topic, yet Kevin's answer just sort of hung there, almost as if confirming what she hinted at without him even realizing it. This proves that saying less is actually a better response than going on a tirade and not clarifying anything. His avoidance of the real issue made it seem as though he was more interested in projecting his reputation within Hollywood's inner circle rather than genuinely addressing Mo's story. He even started what some would describe as grandstanding as he was trying to explain his point of view.
This new thing that people are like, let me tell you something, world.
Yeah.
That's a very, like, that's I want to be honest, I'm 45 years old. I'm 45 years old. And by the way, team or not, it's not hard to find me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, my schedule is online. Everybody points to the moon because nobody knows what it's like to be at the moon and for the moon to look down. Everybody sees it this way, but nobody sees it the other. There's only a couple people that have been down here and looked at the moon and said, I'm going, and went and looked down from. Mm-hmm. So if you don't stand the version of eyesight from both sides, well, then you're nearsighted. You got one vision.
Talk about being self-centered. My man was determined to make people understand that he's made it. By watching it, he appears to be scared of people coming forward and exposing him. He wasn't only talking about the Mo situation here, he was taking jabs at Cat Williams as well, who accused him of being an industry plant earlier this year. That's the thing with the Hollywood elite, they hate it when insiders spill the beans on what's going on behind the scenes, and the main reason is that the entertainment scene is built on carefully crafted images and celebrity brands. So when insiders come forward sharing things that challenge the illusion, it's no surprise that elites act quickly, doing whatever they can to keep things under wraps. Because in Hollywood, it's not just about the truth, it's about preserving the brand and ensuring the show goes on. But after rambling around 5 minutes about how he's a bigwig and how he has made it to the moon, Kevin finally revealed the real reason why he acted the way towards Mo. Watch what he said next.
When you are on a different side of life and you speak to those that are on that side, as if you know what they're doing or why they did it, you're one-sided. You can't speak on my reasons as if you know what my reasons are for. Right. You can't speak on my business choices, professional choices, more importantly, lifestyle choices, if you don't know what the my life is.
That's what it all boils down to. In Hollywood, the business side always wins over personal relationships simply because the stakes are incredibly high and loyalty only goes so far when millions of dollars are on the line. At the end of the day, celebrities and power players are invested in their own brands and careers, which explains why Kevin decided to cut off Monique. She was always labeled as difficult and problematic. Friendships are all well and good, but not if they're in the way of profits or success. This all business attitude can be disheartening, but it's also the reality of an industry that thrives on reputation, influence, and success. That's why the entire industry is transactional and based on everyone putting up a fake character. I'd love to know if you'd acted differently if you were in Kevin's shoes, so let's get the conversation rolling in the comments down below. Oh, and by the way, if you want your friends to be as informed as you, share the video with them.